The Super Mario Brothers movie isn't playing in theaters, and I'm tired of shit. So if I yawn a little bit through this review, I'm tired. But I still want to get this review out for you guys and talk about the movie because I mean it's a big movie. People want to hear my thoughts on it, and yeah. Also, I'm just letting you know I have packages that I can't get to at the moment because something happened with my mail and all that stuff. So there may not be videos on my channel, my second channel for the next couple days. I'm sorry about that. Nothing I can do. Videos will be delayed, but you'll still get plenty of videos coming in the future. So stay tuned for that. Did I like this movie? I don't really know. I think it was okay. Maybe it was because I'm tired and I ended up having to change my plans up last minute. And I was sitting, and meant that I took the last handicap seat, and I ended up sitting next to a family, and they were very annoying. And their kid would talk during the whole movie. Not once did they tell their kid to shut up, and I don't want to tell their kid for them. So I'm just like sitting there, like, all right, whatever. And if it was a little kid, I might understand. But this kid was old enough to understand. He just drew shut the fuck up during a movie. I didn't, but put all that aside, I went into this movie not excited about it, and the reason why is because I feel like I felt the same way when I went to go see the Sonic movie, where people were excited about it, but I couldn't really get why. Sonic for different reasons, but what I just mean by that is like this movie is made by Illumination. There is no reason to get excited about this movie and think it might be great. And it wasn't. It wasn't a bad movie. I would say it's okay. It's pretty enjoyable. I think most people are going to have a good time watching it, kids and adults. But really, the problem with this movie is that everything wrong with it is just an Illumination thing. So, like, all the celebrity voice cast, they're fine. They do a decent job. Jack Black did a decent job. Anya Taylor-Joy did a decent job. Chris Pratt surprisingly did a decent job. I thought he would really piss me off, but he really didn't. Charlie Day as Luigi was actually an excellent choice. Everybody else was just kind of like, whatever. But you listen to these voices and you just like, you couldn't hire real voice actors? Really? That's an Illumination thing. They don't want to hire real voice actors. They want to hire the celebrity name to do the thing. And it just, I don't get it. Because I don't think anyone watches these movies for the celebrities in them. I don't think anyone's watching a fucking Mario movie to see Chris Pratt. No one's doing that. I think the more we give these people backlash for this shit, the less it will happen, but it's still going to happen, and it's unfortunate. But yeah, that's an Illumination thing. The humor in this movie being very juvenile and not very funny to anyone other than a small child. Illumination thing. I thought that they might try a little bit harder, considering that this movie clearly was having lots of adults who wanted to watch this movie. I took just as many tickets for adults as I did children, so. But no, they didn't. And so, yeah, some critics were mad that the story was weak or whatever. I'm like, fuck you. These video games don't have a story, right? So this is the best story that they could have come up with. The only problem with the story was the pacing was horrible. Like, this movie jumped around from location to location to location, never gave you moments to breathe. In fact, there are just things that probably shouldn't have been in this movie. Donkey Kong shouldn't have been in this movie. Things like that. Because realistically, in the end of the movie, Donkey Kong really did nothing in the movie. And a lot of these characters in this movie are like, okay, if we just had Mario trying to save Luigi and meeting Princess Peach and Toad and then stopping Bowser, the movie, I think that would have worked. You didn't really need Donkey Kong in there. It just stretched out the runtime longer and it led to some weird pacing issues and other things. I'm like, all right, that's one thing I had a problem with there. And yeah, I don't know. It was a fine movie, did what it needed to do. There's lots of references. I also will compliment the animation is surprisingly nice. It is Illumination uh, doing a very different style of animation, and that's amazing to see. And they do amazing things with the action scenes. They give you lots of cool, innovative, interesting cinematography in these sequences. That was awesome, right? But again, this was just. I think my main problem boils down to it's an Illumination kids movie. It's not a kids movie and like, oh, adults and kids can watch it too and have a good time. It's a kids movie in the sense that it's made for kids and kids will enjoy it. And adults, I don't think will hate themselves. And especially if they like the video game, they're gonna see all those references and be like, cool. But I wanted a little bit more, unfortunately. I also just wanted them to cut down on the amount of characters in this movie. I feel like they had too much in this movie. And it's funny because I was talking to a big Mario fan. He's like, well, I wanted this and that. And I'm like, well, the movie already had so much in the movie. It was kind of ridiculous to want more. But okay. And that's just where I'm at with it. It was just too much. I mean, the Mario and the kart racing scene, right, that you see in the trailer, that's only like 2 minutes. Didn't last very long. You know, I mean that's how much they jump for locations. That Donkey Kong sequence in the trailers that you've seen lasted like 5 minutes. Like everything's so fast and so quick. It's just so weird. And I don't quite get what they were going with that. And it just led to a pretty uneven feeling movie, and just me really tired and just I don't know. And I did watch it in 3D because everything else was sold out, and they had exactly one handicap seat left, so I sat in the one handicap seat they had left, and I and yeah, 3D didn't really add much to it, but I think DreamWorks movies tend to be pretty cool in 3D because they use the technology well, and this was kind of an example of that, but like I don't think it's ever gonna be enough to ever be worth the money that you pay for a 3D showing. If you can watch it in standard, you should. That's Mario for you. It was fine. Hope you guys enjoy it, but it didn't really do much for me. Even like the end credit scenes, I was kind of excited. Like, oh, maybe there'll be something cool to talk about. Nah, there wasn't really something cool to talk about. There's nothing really to spoil the end credit scenes. I guess spoiler warning if you care. Bowser gets tiny at the end of the movie, and there's a gag with that. Cool. And then you get Yoshi hatching out of an egg at the end of the movie. Cool. I was like, okay, whatever.